Much rhetoric out there depending on a global warming taxation thing that we've reached a point in time where we know it's a fraud, and now a lot of people in Canada are literally face to face right now, like in the highest areas, that are confused. A lot of the public are, and they're frustrated because they've heard enough now about the geoengineering and the spraying of our planet from other people, not just me, not just from all the other wonderful, amazing people out there that are my brothers and sisters in the same fight. You know exactly who yous are. I just want to mention that we have a lot of interesting things to consider this year, because in the next 3 weeks is going to be before the United States presidential inauguration. I just feel like this is something I feel like it's something I've already seen a long time ago, not just because of cards or Illuminati card decks, but I always had this feeling that things were going to get riled up so much, and the public would be just like so enraged that they would have to just get a reason for people to stand up and get pissy and get mad. And so it's kind of neat. I used to go to this school, GCI. They have, like, a little concert theater here. It's really non-active most of the time. You just kind of use it at will. I'm going to take a look at that. It looks kind of nice. It's our Grand River. And yeah, so, if you're someone that knows about geoengineering, then you're definitely someone that's concerned about being in Canada right now, or Europe. Anyone that wants to go ahead with the carbon taxation are kind of too late. I mean, there's a lot of high legislation that wants to go ahead with that, but it's only because an old Navy plan said so, and they had to hijack some. I guess it's kind of like when you get to be a prime minister of a country, you got to kind of sacrifice something. So I guess like Pierre Trudeau sacrificed his son, pretty much, to literally let them handle him, raise him in Buckingham Palace, like I said before. But I'm convinced now that's all it is. So we need to understand there's so many people right now trying to play with our heads to get us to manipulate us, to get us to do things that we really, like if we found out why we're being taxed, that it was a fraud, you'd literally rise up and be frustrated. And but we need to counteract all this with the right kind of information and make 2017 something that makes sense to everybody. I just want to say, first day of 2017, there's been no spraying. It's a crispy, cold morning. It was a crispy, cold afternoon. Right now, as you can see, maybe, it's a crispy, cold day, evening. I'm just taking a little walk, to kind of reminisce, to see, like, wow, I feel great about last year, what had happened. Covert Reality getting a spot on FM radio. Still going to be doing that again. It was really no huge accomplishment, but I do feel like anyone can join up and attend a radio station pretty much. But to be asked by a president of one to do a show on of geoengineering and talking about that to wake up the public was something that was really needed. It was needed, and I want to thank you, Nat Prasad. I want to thank you very much for realizing that was going on, even though you knew that inside the broadcast standards and FCC, or not FCC, but CRTC, are a little bit ludicrous. They can knock down any station that they want with their rogue power. So we just have to fight against these things and realize that the CRTC is pretty much as legitimate as Snopes at this point. And I just want to say that 2017, we want to see clear skies, we want to see awesomeness, but for 2 weeks straight, from the 18th to the 31st, we had absolutely no sun at all. It was all clouds. We were underneath cloud system after cloud system after cloud system. And for 2 weeks straight, and it happened right after, on the 18th, there was a radar blip that was energy field that went all the way around the Earth. Dutch since had done a bunch of good, a lot of people did articles, found out on their radar. And it's interesting because it's been exactly 2 weeks from the point that it was caught on radar that all of eastern Canada and the US were covered in cloud cover, and that's where one of the bands were reaching right over across up Florida and right across all of eastern US and Canada. And then it just happens to be right, like when we wake up the next morning, all the clouds are gone. Like it's almost like they said that there was going to be like there's usually a high suicide rate around Christmas, New Year's. And I'm going to tell you that the reason why I'm doing this video is I feel like during Christmas they actually perpetuated that that whole scenario where they could even mess with the frequencies and make people depressed, put things in their minds and stuff. But when there's big band waves of stuff like that, it doesn't surprise me that they would mass manipulate. And that's my guess on that whole band frequency wave. But the only thing is, that's not my only guess. There's been solid evidence of right after that band occurred on the 18th, frequency wave was caught on every radar. It's the biggest one ever caught on the history of radar. It started and propelled a series of earthquakes. And those earthquakes will lead to other ones. So, we're just hoping that that this New World Order will go away. We're hoping that I don't even really like to speak it in that terms, just this tyranny that's been involved for 70 years. I just heard the other day, like, the New World Order has been going on for 70 years, not just coming up. So that just proves that the Agenda 21 in 1949, 1950, 51 was pretty much, when they thought, okay, the New World Order, because they'd think that no one would ever notice the difference. So they have to kind of get NASA and all that to be credible and looked up upon, and they lie to the public, so it's all falling apart. Now NASA's like one of the biggest players with the CIA spraying us. NASA is the Navy, part of the military. So I'm just saying that during Christmas time and I felt pretty lonely. But I'm okay. I'm a very independent person. And I know that I'm okay with it, though. I'd rather it be where I can focus on things and have my space and love who I love and not have that in my life right now. That's okay, right? So when it comes to these moments, I'm prepared and quite happy, but it does get kind of a little bit trying. But at least I know the frequencies are there and they're affecting us. And a lot of people don't know they're there and affecting us. And that makes all the difference. So I'm at the end of this trail here, so I'm going to round this up because I don't want to hold a camera up in the middle of the street, walking down the middle of the street here. But just want to say I'm glad that 2017's here. I like that 7 better than Sludgy 6. I love everybody very much. And this year we really got to put the pedal to the metal. I don't even like that term, but we have to really make sure that geoengineering is stopped and this carbon tax is stopped. But they need to stop spraying the planet. They're not mentioning it, that they're spraying, but they need to stop. They seriously need to, and just be thankful that maybe at this point we can reverse the damage and we can move on. And we just want you to stop. Anyway, this is Chad Kazrin for Covert Reality. Everyone have a great new year, and we'll talk to you soon.